I'm Brick Road, and don't get too excited, guys. I'm not doing a Let's Play series of yet another Mega Man game. If you've watched a lot of my Let's Plays, it may look to you like I'm kind of skillful at old Mega Man games and a lot of old Nintendo games, and really I'm not. What I just do is I know the game engines really well, and I use that to my advantage. And I'm going to show, in this video, 3 little tricks. Not like cheats or like passwords or like back of the book kind of tricks, but just 3 things about popular game engines that most players don't realize, most players don't know. And the first is going to be in Mega Man, and I just kind of picked Mega Man 5 at random, but it works in any Mega Man game. And the trick is this: Mega Man has no sense of momentum when he's running around, unlike, say, Mario or Samus or like Sonic the Hedgehog. If you are in the middle of a jump, and you're jumping forward and you let go of your D-pad like this, he falls straight down the moment you let go of the button. Absolutely no sense, momentum, whatever. And the reason I bring this up is because I watch a lot of like Mega Man Let's Plays and recordings and things, and people will come up on a difficult jump and then they'll try to get a running start and jump at the last second at the edge of the platform, and really that doesn't do you any good. It doesn't even do you any good to jump out of a slide. Mega Man always moves at the same speed, and he always jumps the exact same height and distance. And this is true in any Mega Man game that I've played that's a 2D platformer, in the Classic series and the X series and Mega Man Powered Up. So the trick is this: don't worry about getting a running start and trying to time it so you're jumping off the edge of a platform. All you need to do is, if you just edge off the platform like this, where you've got like 1 foot on solid ground, and then jump forward, that is the absolute furthest Mega Man will ever be able to jump off that platform. So you never need to agonize over, oh, if only I jumped a little closer to the edge, I would have made that jump. No, that's it. That's the best he can do. And this is how I can make a lot of really difficult jumps in Mega Man games look easy. And I think I'll show a few of those off real quick. So speaking of jumps, jump cuts! Here we are in Snake Man stage in Mega Man 3. And this is a kind of a tricky jump right here. And most people, when they come to this level, they go right for Rush Coil, because Rush Coil will get them over the pit. But, it's a perfectly valid way to make the jump, but not exactly required, because you can get Mega Man right on the edge, and then boom! There you are, safe and sound. Now you can't jump back, obviously. That'll put your blue ass in the hole. But let's take another look at another tricky jump in Mega Man 4. Here we are in Mega Man 4 in Toadman stage, and this is one of the trickiest jumps in this game, really, because the gimmick in Toadman's world is that it's raining against you, and if you jump against the rain, you lose distance, because it's constantly pushing you back. Of course, the point here is that it only pushes you back when you're in midair. As long as you're on the ground, you're fine. So what you don't want to take this jump is do it with a running start. You just want to inch your way towards the edge, get 1 foot off the platform, and then just jump straight forward, and you'll make it. And that's perfect. And a lot of people hate this. Oh no, penguins. But anyway, a lot of people hate this jump because they'll run for it. They'll be like, oh, I missed the jump. I would have made that if it wasn't for this stupid rain. But you also would have made that if it wasn't for the fact that you didn't realize Mega Man doesn't have momentum. There is one caveat to this whole business, and it is in Mega Man X. This is Mega Man X2, but whatever, they're all the same. The caveat is this: Mega Man can now dash. But this doesn't change the rules any. He still needs to be holding a button in the air to get any horizontal movement. So if you let go of the D-pad in the air, he'll fall straight down. This also means you can get your maximal dashing jump by dashing straight from the edge of the platform. So that's kind of cool. And this, of course, lets you do some pretty neat tricks, such as you can take this ride armor and put it all the way on the edge of the platform and do a dashing jump, and then jump out to get this heart tank here without needing Wire Sponge's weapon. So that's the whole thing with Mega Man's momentum. He doesn't have any. Just learn that, and that right there should improve your Mega Man, the platforming aspect of Mega Man games anyway. You should improve dramatically just by knowing that. So let's look at something else. This is the original Final Fantasy on the NES, and this is a game that's notorious for being very difficult and requiring a lot of grinding. And it's not true. That's the first myth. And the second myth is that you need a white mage, otherwise your party's going to die very quickly. That's also not true. You can see my party here is actually a little bit under-leveled. I don't know what level Nintendo Power says you have to be on to beat the Earth Cave, but I'm sure it's higher than 10. And as you can see, I just have weapons and armor that I pulled out of treasure boxes. I have literally not bought any equipment since the second town after fighting the pirates. And I don't have anything in the way of curative magic either. Those are the only 2 spells this character's ever probably going to learn. So here's the trick. You have 4 party members. The guy in the front rank is going to take 4 out of every 8 hits. When monsters attack, they randomly choose which character they damage. They're going to hit that top guy half of the time. The second guy is going to take 2 out of every 8 hits. He's going to take a quarter of every attack every monster throws through the whole game. And then the last 2 guys share the last quarter. They're each only going to take 1 out of 8 hits. This means the enormous bulk of damage you take over the game is going to land on your top guy. That is pure fact, which means if you're playing through Final Fantasy and you're casting a lot of heal spells and drinking a lot of potions, most likely what you're doing is you're just dumping them all down the gullet of whoever happens to be in the top rank, while the guys in the back rank are relatively safe. Which means, if you were to do that in this party, you would basically just be healing the party leader's 278 hit points over and over and over again, when really you have over 1,000 hit points that you can use as a resource to mitigate damage throughout the entire dungeon. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play through the Earth Cave, and I'm just going to, after every battle that I need to, I'm just going to line my guys up and make sure whoever's got the most hit points is up at the top. And you're going to see how few cure potions I really need. Like right now I have a full stash of heals, but you're going to see I only really need a couple, and I'm going to use them right before I go to the boss. So check this out. So there you have it, 16 potions at 60 gold a pop. That's less than 1,000 gold worth of potions in that dungeon, and no curing magic whatsoever. I almost lost my red mage in the fight, but that's kind of how boss fights go. This trick is only good against physical damage, not against magical attacks or status ailments or things like that. But this is how to make any Final Fantasy party extremely survivable, no matter what party you're using. And if you just know my shenanigans here on YouTube, you're probably not aware, but I've actually Let's Played Final Fantasy 1 several times in old screenshot format, and this particular trick, just rotating your guys around, it works on the NES, it works in the PlayStation Remake, it works in Dawn of Souls and the Game Boy Advance, so you really get some cool party ideas and actually make them survivable with this. Like, one of my favorite parties is 4 black mages. I don't think I would have ever won 4 black mages without constantly rotating them around to make sure that the most wounded characters always stayed in the back. So that's Final Fantasy 1. So, what's left? I guess I could teach you guys how to wall jump. Brick Road, no, wall jumping in Super Metroid's really hard, and I've tried it 100 times and I can't get it. No, guys, seriously, watch this. I'm going to teach you how to wall jump. I just need to push the correct buttons to get off the title screen first. So, wall jumping in pretty much every video game ever involves clinging to a wall and then jumping off of it. And I think that is why so many people have so many problems in Super Metroid and wall jumping. Because, I mean, come on, that's how Batman does it, that's how Mario does it, that's how Mega Man X does it. You cling to a wall, and then as you're sliding down, you push the jump button, and then that jumps you away from the wall. That's not how things happen in Super Metroid. And as soon as I get through this horrible hallway of despair, I can prove that to you. Okay. Here's these little dudes. These guys have, of course, taunted every Metroid player in history because they can do this awesome trick where they jump off a wall, but Samus can't. Oh no, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I'm pushing the button and... Okay, the first thing you need to learn is the properties of Samus's spin jump, because you have to be spin jumping in order to do it. If you're standing right up against the wall, she will not spin jump. She will only jump straight up, and that's no good. You need to be spin jumping against the wall. So that's the first thing, is you don't cling to the wall and slide down. You actually have to jump towards it and be spinning. So that's the first thing. If that's what you're doing wrong, congratulations, you now win. The second thing is people try to jump away at the same moment they push the away button, and that's not going to do any good either, as you can see me demonstrate there. You don't want to push away and jump at the same split second. You actually want to push away a little earlier, and that will get you up the wall. So, and of course you're saying, Brickroad, you're a pro at Super Metroid. And no, I'm really not. I just know how to wall jump, and that just sets me above most Super Metroid players because most can't. So, the timing is a little finicky, and it does take some practice. You're definitely not going to be great at this right off the bat. But here's the one last thing you want to look for, is Samus has a very distinctive frame of animation during which she can wall jump. When you're jumping towards a wall and you press away, you'll see she enters a frame of animation that is not used anywhere else in the game. It's only used for the purpose of wall jumping. In fact, let's slow things down a little bit so you can see a little longer. And she only stays there for about half a second, but it is plenty of time to see it and then jump. That little cloud that she does whenever she actually leaves the wall, that little burst of steam or whatever that is, that's a red herring. That happens when you successfully pull off a wall jump. So if you've been watching Metroid videos and you've been trying to time your jump based on that little cloud, you're doing it wrong. So that is really the whole trick. You just look for that one frame of animation and you jump at any point during that frame of animation and you are good to go. So the timing is actually very simple once you've practiced. It is just left jump, left jump, left jump, and that's it. That is really it. You just need to know where that frame of animation is coming. Now, there are a few caveats, like I said, because Samus can't wall jump at all if she's not spinning. So if you charge towards a wall and then wall jump off, for some reason, she loses her spin, so that's no good. However, if you jump in midair and you let go of the gun button in midair, she'll shoot as soon as she fires on the ground, but she won't actually lose her charge until she hits the ground. Did that make sense? So if you need to charge up your shot and wall jump at the same time, let go of the gun button, and then you are good all the way up the wall. This is good because when you're charging like that, and spinning, it's not as powerful as the screw attack, but it has many of the same properties. It'll get Samus through certain shots. And then, of course, you just push the gun button to fire. That's a really useful trick in the Phantoon fight, and I don't have a save state near Phantoon, otherwise I would show it. But when he's shooting like his blue ghost balls against the wall, that's a really easy way to dodge them, is use that little screw attack. I've seen it called the pseudo screw attack. You could call it like the quasi screw attack, but that's one way to do it. So practice wall jumping, and then the sky is the limit, because it really does make Super Metroid an entirely different game. So there, now you know how to do 3 things that most players of old Nintendo games don't know, and you are automatically better than almost everybody who's... How did you get in here, Jackson? My goodness. But so now you're better than pretty much everybody who's ever played any of these 3 games. Use these tricks to impress your friends. You probably don't want to try to get away with, like, putting videos on YouTube showing how great you are, because now people will just point back to this video and say, "Oh, Brickroad taught you that. He's a wonderful, handsome man." So, now you know how to make tricky jumps in Mega Man, you know how to finish Final Fantasy without grinding and without a white mage, and you know how to wall jump in Super Metroid. You are officially awesome. peace out.